Welcome to another video from Counselor Tips. In this video, I'm going to talk to you about questions. Yes, it seems rather basic, asking questions in counseling. But as a counselor educator, a counselor, and a supervisor, I have seen a plethora of questions used effectively and used ineffectively. So hang in there as we cover the different kinds of questions you can use and how to make them effective questions here at Counselor Tips. Basic questions. There's two kinds of questions. There is an open question and there's a closed question. And, well, there are closed questions for clarification, but please, let's use closed questions minimally. That way our sessions are most effective. Whether open or closed, let's talk about the use of questions. So have you ever been in a conversation with someone and they just ask you one question after another? So how was it for you? Well, tell me all about it. What was it like? Who did you see? What was there? What was your experience like? How did you feel? Does anyone else feel like they're being interrogated? I do. Don't ask a whole bunch of rapid-fired questions in a row because it feels like the pressure is on me, and even though I'm the client and the entire session is about me and my life, I don't want to feel like I'm being interrogated. I bet you don't like that feeling either. Use your questions and use them effectively and use them minimally. So you can use a question to get the session started. So, tell me how your week was in between our two appointments. What was different from last session to this session? Did you hear those two questions? Those are open questions. We want to use open questions because it helps facilitate the client thinking and reflecting and sharing about really what's on their mind or what has been happening. We want to use closed questions such as, did you see the person that you intended to at the event? That way, we're gaining more information or gaining information for clarification. Did you complete your homework assignment? What was it like for you? And then be quiet and still and let the client think about what they're going to say and let them share. I find that new clinicians or nervous counselors oftentimes ask a lot of questions because of their own anxiety or nervousness or their discomfort with silence. Sometimes silence is tremendously effective in counseling, and you just need to be quiet as a counselor and let the client think about what they're going to say or reflect on the questions you've asked so that they can come up with the data that is most important to them. Let's talk about words that close a question down. Can, could, would, did, should. There might be more. They'll come to my mind, I'm sure. So questions like, could you have done something different? Can you tell me about that? Would it have been better for you too? Do you think you should? So try to minimize those use of questions like that because all you're doing is gathering facts. So if the facts are not important where you have been having conversation and it's like you're just on a digging expedition, then drop the closed questions. You don't need the information. It may not be as relative as you think. Now, if you are going to ask a question and you fall to a place where you want to use the word can you tell me about? Now, I have had adolescent clients flat out answer me no. That's it. Because when you close a question down, it really is like asking a yes or no question. And sometimes you'll get the smart aleck client, or even when I've been a client, I've been a smart aleck and said yes or no. And I can see that it frustrates a counselor. So when you feel like you want to ask a can question, open it up with more of a statement. Please tell me what that was like for you. Or, I'm curious to know. Even though you're making a statement, it can still be considered a question. So you're asking the client to reflect and seek the information that will help describe the situation or event or their feelings in their life that is relative to what's happening in counseling. There are a lot of example videos that are out on the internet and ones that show great examples of open and closed questions. However, there are videos out there that will label questions incorrectly. And so when their intent is for the question to be an open question, they've actually labeled a closed question an open question. To me, as a counselor educator, that's tremendously frustrating. So when I was teaching early on in my career, which is almost several decades ago, I was using a video from a very popular author, often used to teach about microcounseling skills. And even in their videos, they had the labels for the microcounseling skills used incorrect. And so I would have to tell students, please ignore that, that's a closed question. And go over a list of words that close a question down. Try to use 5% or less of closed questions in a session. So if you are participating in 100 instances of dialogue yourself as a counselor in a session, then you should really just have 5 closed questions. We aren't really talking that much, like 100 times in a session. So that'll give you a great idea of how many times you should use a closed question. It's very, very minimal. If you want an example of questions, whether closed or open questions, used in context and examples of the skill just by themselves, you can check out a book that I offered. It's called Skills Made Simple, Microcounseling Skills for Counselors. It's only a Kindle book, but it has videos that are attached to each chapter. There are 13 chapters that cover all the microcounseling skills. Hopefully you'd find that helpful. Well, thanks for joining me for another video here from Counselor Tips. And if you like this video, please click the like button. Please consider subscribing to this channel and turn on the bell for notifications. That way you'll know the next time I upload another video. In the next videos, I'm going to be covering all the microcounseling skills. So please stay tuned.